Okay, so let's start the class. All of you write down the heading differentiability. Continuity we have finished. We'll discuss differentiability. And the NCRT heading is differentiability. Are you guys comfortable with differentiation? Basics, product rule, quotient rule, and chain rule. These three rules. Yes, no, no, except chain rule. Okay. Today we'll discuss that. Basic means at least basic differentiation you guys know or not, sine, cost, and basic functions. Okay. If not, revise it. Last class also I told that in your NCRT only it's mentioned. And open your grade 11 NCRT, limits and derivatives. All the differentiation is given in the last page. So copy all the differentiation in your maths notes. Okay. Same thing I told for trigonometric identities as well as graphs. Everything is available in the grade 11 NCRT. Write all the trigonometric identities as well as the graphs in your notes. Okay. हाँ बोलो हाँ बोल बात कर ले क्या हो गया 2-3 मिनट बात करना बस उसके बाद बोलना है हमें और बात उठाना बाद में बात करना है ना ठीक So let's understand the meaning of differentiability. In simple words, differentiability means is it possible to differentiate the function or not at a particular point? Okay, that's what they say. Check the differentiability of the function. But can you differentiate the function, or does the differentiation of the function exist at a particular point or not? Like we checked what? Continuity and limit, right? We check, right, whether the limit exists at this point or not, or whether the function is continuous or not. In the same way, now we are going to check whether you can differentiate the function at a particular point or not. That is a simple meaning of differentiability. If you break this into two words, also you can see that differentiability, ability. That can you differentiate the function at that point or not? That's what we are checking. Hmm. If I draw a graph, all of you see this graph. Which function is this? Which function? Which function a graph? Which function is this? Modulus. Last class only we discussed. Means you guys are not opening the notes. That thing is for sure. Don't take grade 12 lightly. So how come you guys have that much confidence that we are not revising and coming to the class? It's a crime, I'm telling now. It is the simplest thing to improve. And the moment you ignore, you will be the person who will be harmed. Okay. And what is the harm? You start losing interest in the subject. And the benefit is that if you revise and come, when you answer everything, automatically confidence increase, interest increase in the subject. So make this a habit that before the class or one day before the class, you revise the notes from A to Z. Simple habit changes everything, everything A to Z. Because it's a very common question, sir. How should I improve? What should I do? What special should I do? There's nothing special. Revise the notes, ask your questions, practice more questions. That's it. There's no other trick to improve. Basic things you guys are silent. This is mod hexagraph. Only one student is answering. This is the graph of mod x, modulus of x. So can you see that at this point, do we have a sharp edge? If I draw it separately like this, do you have a sharp edge here? Right? Sharp means what? Blunt edge. You can see that. So at this sharp edge, like a knife ka point, if I ask you draw the tangent at this point, how many tangent can you draw? One or more than one? More than one. So if I draw the tangent, the first one like this, touching it, second one touching it, third one touching it. So I will not draw more than that. Can you see that at a sharp edge, it is possible to draw more than one tangent. And what is the meaning of tangent? Slope. Change in y by change in x. So if I write that at this sharp edge, multiple tangents are possible. So if multiple tangents are possible, it means what? Dy by dx is unique or not? No. What is the meaning of tangent? Slope. What is the slope of a tangent? Change in y by change in x. So what is the slope of tangent? How do you find the slope of tangent? Slope of tangent is change in y by change in x. So dy by dx. So dy by dx is unique here or not? No. So if dy by dx is not unique, which dy by dx you will pick? Suppose I tell you that y is equal to a particular function. You differentiate it. There are three answers for that. Which one will you pick? It means there is no differentiation possible for that function at that point. If you are differentiating a function at a particular point, it should have a unique value, only one value. Suppose I say put x equal to 1 in that. You should get one answer. But here I am telling that I am getting more than one answer for dy by dx. Dy by dx is slope. And we can call this as differentiation of y with respect to x. That's how you read dy by dx. Derivative of y with respect to x. So will that function be differentiable? No. So the moment there is a sharp edge in any graph, it means at that point function is non-differentiable. Is the reason clear? Because it will have multiple values of differentiation, which doesn't make sense. It should have one answer. I can make a note. So therefore, function will not be differentiable at x equal to, not x equal to. The function will be not differentiable at sharp edge. If let us talk about f of x equal to mod x. So if we draw this graph, so the critical point of this function is what? X equal to 0. Because at x equal to 0, this will become 0. So on the left side of critical point and on the right side of critical point, it changes the sign. Or you can say it changes its nature. So on the right side of critical point, it will be positive. On the left side also, it is positive. What is x? X is negative. But what is the answer? Positive. Because that is the meaning of mod function. So when you open the mod, if you remember the basics, when you open the mod, on the left side of critical point, it will be negative. On the right side of critical point will be positive. That's how we open the mod. So if you see this function, is this function continuous? Yes, there is no break in the graph. Where is a break? No break. I will draw this line and then this line. Graph is done. Without lifting my hand from the board, I can draw this in a single go. So this is a continuous function at x equal to 0. But what about differentiability at x equal to 0? Non-differentiable because there are multiple tangents possible because of the sharp edge at x equal to 0. So what will you write? This function is continuous at x equal to 0 but non-differentiable at x equal to 0. The reason is already known to you. Why non-differentiable? Because we have a sharp edge here. Done? Now, let's go back to the previous lecture. We learned the graph, how to draw the graph of mod function, remember? There we discussed how to draw the graph of mod of sin x. Mod of sin x. This was the graph. Mod of sin x, this function. So what is the purpose of mod on the function? Make every negative also positive. Okay? So in the sine theta, we have negative loops. All those negative loops will become positive. That is the purpose of mod. If I draw the graph of mod of sin x, the graph will be like this. Correct? This loop will be negative. In mod, will make it what? Positive. Similarly, the loop will be negative here. That will be. Any problem? Anyone having doubt? How did I draw the graph of mod of sin x? Whatever is a negative loop, that will also become positive. This is 0. This is how much? Pi. This is 2 pi. This is 3 pi. Minus pi. Minus 2 pi. Is this function continuous? Yes. Any break in the graph anywhere? No. Is this function differentiable? Everywhere? At which point it is non-differentiable? See the sharp edges. See the sharp edge. Sharp edge. All integral values of pi. So it will be non-differentiable at all the integral values of pi. 0 when n is 0. Pi when n is 1. 2 pi when n is 2. Minus pi when n is minus 1. It will continue. So this function will be continuous for all real values of x, but non-differentiable for all integral multiple of pi. Because you can see sharp edge. You can see here sharp edge is there, sharp edge. And it will continue throughout the x-axis. So non-differentiable at x equal to n pi. And continuous for all x belonging to R. You guys know this symbol? For all. I wrote for, I will remove it. This symbol you would have studied in sets and relation. This symbol means for all. Inverted A. Inverted A. So continuous for all x which belongs to R means all real values. Now, see, why did I give these two examples? First of all, to show you the sharp edge wala thing. Second thing, what I wanted to explain here is that if a function is continuous at a particular point, it doesn't give the guarantee that it will be differentiable. It may be, it may be not. Repeating the statement again, if the function is continuous at a particular point, it may be differentiable at that point, it may not be. Okay. So the examples what we have taken here, it is continuous at 0 and pi, but non-differentiable at those points because sharp edge is there. If I ask you a question, f of x is continuous at x equal to a, hence it will be differentiable at x equal to a. Is it correct? No, it's not necessary. Okay. So continuity at a particular point doesn't guarantee differentiability at that point. Can be, it cannot. Is the funda clear? So remember these two examples, the point will be very much clear, crystal clear. You can make a note of that. If f of x is continuous at x equal to a, if f of x is continuous at x equal to a, it may be or may not be differentiable at x equal to a. If f of x is continuous at x equal to a, it may be or may not be differentiable at x equal to a. Clear? The example is speaking that fact. Can you guys give me any example where it will be continuous as well as differentiable? Many examples are there. Instead of mod sin x, you take only sin x. Instead of mod sin x, you take sin x. So sin x will be continuous for all real numbers and it will be differentiable for all real numbers because there will be no sharp edge. Okay? So that's what I told, that it may be differentiable or may not. But if the question says that continuous and differentiable, it means they are telling boss it is always differentiable. That is not true. Always it is not differentiable. There are cases where it may be or may not be. The moment I remove mod from here, then it is continuous as well as differentiable. Same thing. If I remove mod from here also, f of x equal to x, it will be a straight line. Any sharp edge is there in straight line? No. It will be continuous as well as differentiable. Is the funda clear? Any doubts are there? Let me know, anyone who want to ask anything which is not clear. Now write down one more statement. So statement is now ulta. Ulta means now we will say that function is differentiable at a point. Function is differentiable at a point. If function is differentiable at a point, it has to be continuous at that point. Okay, write down the statement. If f of x is differentiable at x equal to a, if f of x is differentiable at x equal to a, it has to be continuous at x equal to a. First question. The set of points where f of x equals to mod of 2x minus 1 into sin x is differentiable is first option r, second option r minus 1 by 2, third option 0 to infinity, and last option none of these. But why did you go? It's not done. I can leave now. Go. It's late. We're late for you. एसी क्यों बंद कर दी ठंडा लगेगा क्या Yes, students, which option? A, B, C, D. All of you have to answer A, B, C, D. You guys can write the answer in the chat box, everyone. Quickly. A, B, C, D. A, B. Students, waiting for all of your response. Which option?
Sir, I think it's option B.
Option B. Okay, noted. Am I audible to the class?
Or is it option A?
Option A. Students who have problem in speaking, you can use chat box and quickly write your answer. I want answer from everyone, and only will continue.
Sir, is it B?
Okay, noted. B. Some of you are telling A. Ved, Tanvi, Shubham, Tanuj,
A.
Pranav, Shreya, Shaurya.
B.
I have to ask 3, 4 times, then you guys will respond. That is also a separate effort. Bring out the answer I have to ask so many times. Okay, chalo, let's discuss this. Answer is option B, which is obvious. Which is obvious. It is clearly visible. What is the critical point of this? What is the critical point? The critical point is 0 for this. 1 by 2. What is the critical point? How do we find the critical point of a mod function? Where it becomes 0. For which value of x it will become 0? 1 by 2. So what happens? What does mod do? Just now you saw the graph. At the critical point, the shape left side, right side, it changes. And at the critical point, what do you get? Sharp edge, right? So at 1 by 2, we will get a sharp edge. I've already explained modulus function. So at x equal to 1 by 2, this function will have a sharp edge. It means this function will be non-differentiable at x equal to 1 by 2. So non-differentiable at x equal to 1 by 2. And this function is differentiable everywhere. Differentiable for all x belonging to R. So non-differentiable multiplied by differentiable, answer is non-differentiable. You can make a note of that. Non-differentiable multiplied by differentiable, it is non-differentiable. It will be non-differentiable at 1 by 2. What are they asking? Where is it differentiable? So remove this point. Remove this point. Option B. Is the concept clear? Do make a note of the concept. Non-differentiable into differentiable at a particular point. So I am checking for 1 by 2. It will be non-differentiable. The whole function becomes non-differentiable. Okay, next question. So by seeing the next question, you will understand that why did we discuss graph in the last to last class of maths? When was the last maths class? Sunday or Saturday? Sunday. So last before that maths class was on Friday. The Friday we discussed the graph of mod. Okay, so do revise that lecture if you have forgotten. I'll just quickly explain that. This is the function e to the power mod of x. So the mod is on the whole function or only on the input? Only on the input. So the mod is only on the input. Mod is not on the whole function. So if you remember the statement what we made in the last class, that if the mod is on the input, how do you draw the graph? Whatever is the shape of graph on the right side, same shape will be replicated on the left side. Okay. So what is the graph of e to the power x? Yes, what is the graph of e to the power x? Yes, forgot that also.
Sir, it's a curve on.
Revision is the key. This is the graph of e to the power x exponential. Now all of you see on the board. I'll give time to copy. What I told that whenever mod is on the input, the graph which is on the positive side of x-axis, same graph will be on the negative side. I'm repeating the statement again. When mod is only on the input, whatever is the shape on the right side, means positive x-axis, same will be copy pasted. So what is the shape on the right side? This one. So same shape will be replicated on the left side. If I draw the graph of e to the power mod x, the shape will be like what? This, okay? And then on the left side, what will happen? Same. So it will be something like, I have to draw this part again. It should be a sharp edge because the shape is changing. When you draw it, you make sure that there is a sharp edge. Whatever shape is on the right side, same shape will be on the left side. Now, if you don't want to draw the, suppose you don't want to draw the graph. Just now we discussed that whenever there is a mod function, at critical point, is it differentiable or not? Not differentiable. What is the critical point of this mod? What is the critical point of this mod? Zero. Mod. When will this function become zero? Pranav, you have understood the meaning of critical point? And why you were confused here? Critical point means when will this become zero? So when will this become zero? At x equal to zero. Okay? And for a mod function at critical point, there is a sharp edge. So will it be differentiable at x equal to zero? No. Okay? But will it be continuous? Yes. There is no break. All of you write down the reason. This function will be continuous at x equal to 0, but non-differentiable at x equal to 0. If you feel that I am not able to draw the graph, I've explained the reason here that whenever there is an input pay mod, whatever is the shape on the right side or positive x-axis, same shape is repeated on the left side. So when the shape will change, there will be a sharp edge here. And what is the x coordinate here? 0. It will be non-differentiable at x equal to 0, but there is no gap, so continuous. Done? Any questions? Anyone? Let's discuss the differentiation now. Now we'll discuss differentiation. The questions on differentiability at your board level is only this much. These things they ask. So mainly the questions, the long answer type will be differentiation. So we'll solve more questions on differentiability on the weekend class. Now we are going to start differentiation. Differentiation is a part of differentiability. So which rules you should be knowing first in differentiation? Product rule, quotient rule, and the last rule which you need to know is chain rule. These three rules should be on your fingertips. I will explain when I'm explaining the numerical. Okay, I'll explain that. So wherever you have doubt, you can ask me at that time. But if you want to understand these things into very much depth, I've taken that class in grade 11. Whoever needs the lecture can ping me. I'll share the lecture with you. Okay. After the class, I think one or two of you asked also. I've shared with them. So whoever wants a lecture on these three things, you can let me know. I'll send you. Or I will put in the group only. Okay, you can check that. Whoever needs a reference. So these three rules should be clear to you. Second thing, you need to know all trigonometric identities. And these things you add in your notes only, existing note, this one, this grade 12 notes, trigonometric identities. Where will you find this? Grade 11, NCRT. If you don't have the NCRT, you can download it from cbse.nic.in or ncrt.nic.in. It's free of cost. The latest one you can download. If you have printer, you can take the print also. Next, differentiation of basic functions. So what do I mean by differentiation of basic function? Which basic function? Sin x, cos x, tan x, secant x, cot x, e to the power x, log x. Okay? These differentiation should be on your fingertips. So what is the differentiation of sin x? Cos x. Differentiation of cos x?
minus sin x.
minus sin x. Then differentiation of tan x, secant square x, not cosecant square x. Then cot x minus
Minus
cosecant.
cosecant square x.
Very simple thing. Whenever you see C, minus will be there. Okay, whenever C is there, differentiation will have minus. You can check both the things. Cot x is done, then secant x, differentiation of secant x. What is the answer? Sec x tan x, differentiation of cosecant x. Yes, minus cosec x cot x. Next, differentiation of e to the power x. E to the power x. Differentiation of log x. Remember that base is e, 1 by x. If base is not e, then will the differentiation be 1 by x? No. How do we differentiate that? Suppose I ask you, differentiate log x to the base 5. Answer will not be 1 by x. Okay. 1 by x is only applicable for the natural log where base is e. So what we say, first we simplify log x to the base 5 by using base change theorem. Okay. Anyone who is not aware about that can see. So whatever base you are requiring, create that base. I want e. Okay. Now log 5 to the base e. This is called base change theorem. So I made the base as what? E. This is constant or variable? How come this is variable? Log 5 is variable, constant. So if I have to differentiate this, constant I will move outside. So 1 by log 5 d by dx of what? Log x to the base e. So what is the answer? 1 by log 5 into 1 by x. Is the funda clear? So if you don't want to write this much, what is the shortcut? 1 by x multiplied by 1 by log 5. If I say 10, so it will be 1 by x into 1 by log. Be careful in the exam, don't do this mistake. Sometimes we don't check the base and we still write the answer as 1 by x. So there you have to be a bit extra careful. Okay, any doubts in any step before we move ahead? Let me know. Other functions are also there. We'll discuss one by one. But these are the basic things which should be on your fingertips. What is the meaning of differentiation? Why do we differentiate? To find the rate of change. That at what rate it is changing. If you remember physics also, in physics we discussed the definition of velocity. What is velocity? Dx by dt. Differentiation. Differentiation of position with respect to time. So it is telling you that at what rate your position is changing. Suppose if you are running and I want to find out what is your velocity, so I will find out at what rate your position is changing. Similarly, if I want to find out your acceleration, suppose you're going in the car, okay, you see that the road is good, 6-lane highway, foot on the accelerator, velocity increases. Suddenly you see that there is a speed breaker, foot on the brake and clutch, slow down. What is happening? The speed is changing, variable. So you need to find out at what rate speed is changing. So again, what? Differentiation. dv by dt, which is acceleration. So differentiation is a mathematical tool which help us in find out rate of change. Okay. If I simplify it more, Differentiation say that if I give you a block, differentiate means break it into small, small parts. Tell me what is the smallest unit in this? Break it. Now, when I tell you integrate, means add all those small parts and create this pen again. So integration means adding all the small parts. Differentiating means breaking the whole thing into the smallest. So that's why we use the statement integration and differentiation are anti of each other. Differentiation means break into smallest part. Integration means add all. So integration is called anti-derivative. Anti-derivative. Okay. And if you want to see an example also, see the example. What is the integration of cos x minus sin x? Integration of cos x is minus sin x. I will show you here. If I integrate both the sides, okay, just now I told that integration and differentiation are anti of each other. So differentiation and integration will cancel out on left side. What will be left? Cos x. Okay. And integration here. So integration of sin x will be what? Move minus this side. The integration of sin x will be minus cos x. Just integrate both the sides. So here differentiation integration cancels, cos x will be there, and here it will be integration of minus sin x. Shift minus here, integration of sin x is minus cos x. So when I will teach you integration, I will not ask you to remember them. I will just tell you remember this, take the anti. Anti means integration of both the sides. So integration and differentiation are anti of each other. And don't just, like I always say in physics also I was telling that, don't just study the subject for that, okay, I need to solve 100 questions, 200 questions. Understand the meaning. People don't know the meaning of integration. They have solved 500 questions. You ask them, why do we use integration? No answer. So understand what is the real life. Integration differentiation is used in physics, whatever physics ka branch you take, physics in the sense engineering. Choose anything. In computer science also integration is used. Because integration is a very fundamental term that you combine multiple applications. Okay? Computer science, electronics, electrical, mechanical, biotechnology. Okay? Anyone in the class who is thinking of taking biotechnology, uh, understand that biotechnology is a scam. There is no bio in biotechnology. Okay? In biotechnology, it is more of maths and physics. So be careful. Vikram took biotechnology thinking that there will be no maths. And throughout till first year, second year, till fifth semester, he had to study maths. And he used to every day tell me, "Kiya, why did I take biotech? I would have taken computer science. There is less maths in that." Anyone who hates math and is solving double integration, not single, you have to solve double integration. Okay, so make sure that you find out your interest. Never get influenced by seeing that someone is earning this much and that much. Earning and all is very secondary thing. What you like, you choose that. And for finding what you like, you need to explore things. Without exploring, if you're deciding, you're a fool. You see a tough thing and you say, "Yeah, what tough hai? Why should I do that?" If you're not doing a tough thing, you will not be paid. You will not reach to that level. Easy thing anyone can do. Okay, तो go for the tougher things. Then only you will be recognized. Your talent will be recognized. That doesn't mean that you have to go for integration differentiation thing only. It means whatever you like, find out that. Don't give up. Many people say, "Ki, sir, integration differentiation, we have to think so much. Every question is different." That's what will make you great. That's what will make your brain grow. Simple question. If you solve, nothing will happen. You'll not grow. Okay. And don't use ChatGPT to find the answers of integration. Answers are wrong. I saw on ChatGPT sine cube x plus cos cube x was written one. For integration question, I was just checking the answer. How ChatGPT responds. It wrote sine cube x plus cos cube x. Okay. Oh, this thing you guys have understood. We will start with questions now. Product rule is very simple. Quotient rule is also simple. Confusion, what will happen will be in chain rule. So why do we use chain rule? What is the, in which cases we use chain rule? Chain rule is used in case of log. That is
So when
not the
there's a
right answer.
function within a function.
When there is a function inside a function. Whenever there is a function, correct. Very good. I got one correct answer. Perfect answer. When there is a function inside a function, we use chain rule. And what is it called? Function inside a function. It is called composite function. A function inside a function is called composite function. So if you take this example, my function is sine of root x ka whole square. What will be the answer? Sine x? No, root and square will not get cancelled. The answer will not be sine x,
Sine square x.
sine square x. Can we do that? No, because the square is not on the input. The square is on the whole function. Okay. Some students write this. They say that, sir, we can simplify this. And they write sine x ka whole square. They say, sir, square root square gets cancelled. Yeah, root x is not separate. Root x is the part function. Okay. The whole square means the square is on the whole function, not on the input. You cannot remove the square root. Okay. So don't do that mistake. So let's differentiate it. How many functions are there? What is the outermost function? Quadratic. Square. Then what is the function? Sine theta. Then what is inside sine theta? Square root. So function inside a function is present. We will use which rule? Chain rule. So whatever you guys remember, use it and tell me the answer. Whatever you remember about chain rule, try it. Don't worry about right wrong. We always start from which function? Outermost. We start from outermost and slowly enter inside. Then we start from the outermost and then slowly come to the inner function. Okay. Let's differentiate the outermost thing first. The outermost thing is what? Square. So whenever the power is there, what do we write? N into x to the power n minus. So for the power, it will be f dash x. Dash means single differentiation. Dash means one time differentiation. If I write 2 dash, f double dash means 2 times. If I write f triple dash, 3 times differentiation. If I write f x to the power n, means n times I have differentiated. So 2 will come down, n into sin x to the power n minus 1. Any doubt? So outermost thing is done. When you come inside the bracket, what do you see? Sine theta. You see sine theta. What is the differentiation of sine theta? Cos theta. Correct? Now you will go inside sine. What is inside sine? Root x. What is the differentiation of root x?
1 by
1
2
by
root x.
1 by 2 root x. 5 seconds are enough for this question. Anyone in the class who is not clear, let me know. I'll explain again. Anything, any part. Funda is very simple. Start from the outermost function, slowly, layer by layer, reach to the innermost function. No rocket science. Very simple. This is the simplest thing, chain rule. If you learn in the right way, outermost to innermost. No questions. Everyone is clear? This is very smart. Chalo, check.
So can you explain the last part again?
Last
1
part.
by 2 root. Yeah.
This one. Acha,
Yeah.
this one. This one. Root x. What is root x? X to the power 1 by 2. Right?
Yeah.
Differentiate it.
Oh, oh,
How?
oh.
N into x to the power n minus 1. So 1 by 2 to the power x to the power minus 1 by 2. So this will be what? 1 by 2 times of n into x to the power n minus 1. I directly wrote that. That's what I was asking, that if anyone has any doubt. I was basically looking out for this only. Someone will ask. Check. All of you know it. Very good. Should I give one more question? Let this time make the function very big. This is a new NCRT or old one? New one. You guys saw the syllabus? Syllabus is out. It's exactly same as the previous year. Where is the publication written? Revised edition 2020. Function is secant of tan of root x. What is the outermost function? Secant theta. You will differentiate secant theta. Secant theta is secant into tan. Then after that, what will you differentiate? Tan theta. Tan theta is secant square theta. Then what is the final function? Root x, which is 1 by 2 root x. Question is solved. Start from the outermost layer. One by one, reach to the innermost function. Chain rule is over.
So for the secant function, we take the theta as tan root x. Right, sir?
Yes. Of course. Done. So what will be the first thing? Secant theta will be secant theta into tan theta. Any problem in this thing? Anyone? Secant theta into tan theta. What is theta for secant? This whole thing. Now we'll go inside the bracket. What do we have? Tan. What is the differentiation of tan? Secant square theta. So secant square, what is theta this time? Root x.
Yes.
Now what is the last function? Root x. What is the differentiation of root x? 1 by 2 root x. Done. Easy or difficult? Easy. Don't revise this thing for 3-4 times. Again, you will be on the zero. Displacement will be zero. You will again feel that khatam, over. Differentiation and integration needs attention and time. What you call love and care. If love and care is not or attention is not given to this topic, every time you will feel that I am starting from fresh. Other than that, in grade 12th maths, probability is also a kind of complicated chapter. Complicated means again you need to give more time to it. So calculus, which is integration differentiation, which starts from continuity, differentiability, then application of differentiation, then integration. In integration, indefinite, definite, then application of integration, and the last chapter, differential equation. Overall, 5 to 6 chapters are there in calculus. If you command this, grade 12th maths is over. Other chapters, if you read for one time also or 2 times also, it's enough. And that is the only reason I didn't start with determinant matrices or relation function. I want to finish this chapter, means the whole unit calculus, in next 3-4 months, so that by the end of Feb or before your board exam, you can revise at least 3 to 4 times. Other chapters, if you read 2 times also, you'll feel that I know everything. But here time is required because variety is huge. A lot of variety you will find out. So you need to spend time in solving questions. So any questions? Chain rule is clear. I'm giving one more problem because after that it becomes a repetition. No need to spend more time on this. So the function is 2 times of square root of cot of x square. What is the outermost function? Square root. Then what is the next function? Cot theta. What is the next function? X. Any answers? Anyone who has solved? Don't worry about this 2. You can keep 2 as it is. No need to do anything. Whenever constant is multiplied or divided, you can always keep that constant aside and differentiate the variable. Okay, whenever constant is multiplied or divided, you can always keep it aside. Aside means outside differentiation. So don't worry about to differentiate all these things. So cot is inside. What is the differentiation of square root? 1 by 2 times of square root. So 1 by 2 times of square root. What is inside the square root? Cot of x. Any problem in this? That's what we are doing, right? You can see that. The root x ka differentiation is what? 1 by 2 root x. So root ke inside, whatever is there, it will be 1 by 2 times of whatever is inside the square. Now, what is inside the square root? Cot theta. What is the differentiation of cot theta? Minus cosecant square theta. Now, what is inside cot? X square. X square is how much? Clear? Any questions? So this was the story of chain rule. I hope that now you guys can manage any question. There should not be any difficulty. Next, what is product rule? Whenever two functions are multiplied and you want to differentiate it. Suppose I have two functions, u into v. I want to differentiate. The single dash means what? One time differentiation. So what do we write? Yes, u dash v plus uv dash. So one function is differentiated, keeping the second one as it is. That's what is happening. So let's discuss the next question. This is called product rule. So whenever two functions are multiplied and you want its differentiation, we use product rule. So the next question is differentiate cos of x cube into sine square of x to the power 5. So what is the first thing you observe? Two functions are multiplied, right? This is u and this is v. So you have to differentiate this multiplied by the product plus differentiate this multiplied by the product. But how will you differentiate this? Which rule? Chain. All of you try this. All of you try. Let's discuss it. If I differentiate, if I take this as u and this as v, So differentiation will be u dash v plus u into v dash. So if I differentiate this, we will use what rule? Chain rule. So cos theta minus sin theta into what is the differentiation of x cube? 3x multiplied by v, which is sine square to the power 5. Any problem? All of you check the steps. Any student having doubt, clarify quickly. So u is as it is. So u is what? Cos of x cube into differentiation of v, right? So if you see that, this is what? Sine square theta. Square is inside. You can take the square outside also. It's the same thing. All of you know this, right? Sine square theta and sine theta ka whole square is same. So this is basically sine square theta. If you want me to write it, I will write like this. Sine of x to the power 5 ka whole square. So what is the outermost thing in this? 2. So we'll use which rule? Power rule. N into x to the power n minus 1. So 2 into sine of x to the power 5 ka power what? 2 minus 1 into. Now what is inside the square? Sine theta. So sine theta will be cos theta. Now what is inside sine? X to the power 5. So again power rule, n into x to the power. If you solve this question, chain and product both gets covered. That is the reason I gave this question. So you need to pick the right question to revise your concept. So this is one of the question which will quickly revise. If you solve this perfectly, you quickly revise chain rule as well as product rule. So mark this question as important. And if any doubt is there, you can cross check and ask. And do practice these questions again after the class or maybe tomorrow before the class. Practice them again. Done? Now, one point I forgot to discuss. I told two things, right? That if function is continuous at a point, at the same point, it can be differentiable or cannot be. Then the second point, what I told is ulta. Ulta means now I know that function is differentiable. Then it has to be continuous. Now, one more case is possible. That if function is not continuous only, so what can we comment about differentiability? I'm telling that function is not continuous at x equal to a. So what can we comment about differentiability at x equal to a? Will it be differentiable or non-differentiable? Non-differentiable. Okay. All of you got my question, right? This time I'm telling that if I choose a point x equal to a for a function, I'm telling that that function is not continuous there. So what can we comment about differentiability? Think, there's no
Not
maths in it.
differentiable.
Non-differentiable, okay, noted. Nothing, no formula, it's common sense. It's common sense. The question what I've asked you. If you're okay, we'll check. If you're thinking that we have to apply any formula, left hand limit, right hand limit, you're not thinking in the right. It's common sense.
So non-differentiable because function doesn't exist.
Very good. Excellent. I got the perfect explanation. If it is not continuous, it means what? At that point, there is a break in the graph or there is a gap in the graph. Gap in the graph means what? At that point, function exists. If there is a gap, means function doesn't exist there. If function is not existing only there, how do you differentiate it? Where is maths here? It's common sense here. If you know the meaning of continuity, you can aram se tell that function is not existing. Discontinuous means there is a break, there is a gap. Once function is not present at that point, what will you differentiate? Function is not existing. Make a note of this point. So if function is discontinuous at x equal to a, it means what? Will the function exist there? No. It means function is not defined at that point. Defined in the sense you can say there is a gap in the graph. So if there is a gap in the graph, it means we can't differentiate it. If there is a gap in the graph, we can't differentiate it. It means non-differentiable at that. If it is not continuous, means it has to be non-differentiable because there is a gap, means you cannot differentiate. The function doesn't exist. Let's take an example of this point. You can write down the example just below that statement. If I take the example as f of x is equal to greatest integer of x. You guys remember the graph? Staircase graph. Okay. This also we discussed. We drew the graph in the last class. So greatest integer is what? Staircase. Exactly like staircase. It moves one step ahead. And where was the gap? Where was the gap in the graph? At all integral points. At all integers, there was gap in the graph. Okay? So at all the integers gap is there means it is discontinuous. If I ask you, is this function differentiable at x equal to 1? It will be the answer. No. Because x equal to 1 is an integer. At integral point, it is discontinuous. Means it will be non-differentiable. You can write down the example. F of x equal to greatest integer will be discontinuous at all integral points. Hence, it will be non-differentiable at all integral points. F of x equal to greatest integer is discontinuous at all integral points. Hence, it will be non-differentiable at all integral points. Done? Any questions, Bachawati? Anyone? Sure, let's do the last question of the class. We'll wrap up the session after this. Do revise and come for the tomorrow's class. I see many blank faces. The only fear what I have that when I see so many students attending online, I start getting scared. So make sure the students who are attending online, you focus in the class, concentrate. Don't hope that COVID will come again and the exam will get cancelled. Study properly. Grade 12th is not same as grade 9th and 10th that you'll study in 1 day, 2 day, you'll get good marks. Here things are very much conceptual. It's a flow. 1 year ka journey. More effort you put, more you will explore yourself, more you will know yourself, not only academically, all the life skills. Grade 11 also I used to tell that. First skill what you learn in 11th and 12th is how to handle pressure. You become a person who don't give up. You have to. There's no choice. You don't have to become who give up. If anything is difficult, what is the solution? Spend more time on that. Whatever you're not understanding, ask in the class. Ask before the class or after the class. Simple. People are there to help you. You need to come out of your comfort zone and come here and ask, sir, explain me this. But problem is what? We start asking doubts in the last 3 months. We wait. You will ask doubt in December. And what will happen? Whatever you were supposed to become, you are basically a bit lower at a lower level than. Again, that regret will be with you throughout life. When you will be my age, 30, 35, then you will think, yeah, I could have done better. When you will sit alone and talk to yourself, you will always think. Basically, there should not be any regret. You should be proud of your decision. You should be proud of your effort. Whatever I did was my best. That's what we all want. I also want the same thing. You also want the same thing. But when the time comes to put effort, We say, "Ki chalo, we'll do tomorrow." Tomorrow is the deadliest word. Remember that. It's a deadliest word. Don't depend on tomorrow. Whatever you have today, finish, plan, aram se sleep. Don't think about what will happen. If you are putting effort, if you're honest with yourself, in the end, everything will be good. Find dy by dx if y plus sin y equal to cos x. Okay. So a simple question on this note, we'll wrap up the session. All of you try this quickly. So we need dy by dx, right? Means you differentiate y with respect to x. What is the meaning of dy by dx? Differentiate y with respect to x. So this is the equation. So what you will do? Differentiate the whole equation with respect to x. So differentiate both these sides with respect to x. So what is the differentiation of y with respect to x? Dy by dx. Now all of you see on the board. Just give me 1 minute. What will be the differentiation of sin y? Cos y? What will be the differentiation of sin y? No differentiation. All of you see what mistakes we do. Differentiation, listen to me very carefully. This is a common mistake which will happen, and we all do that. This is a simple question, so you may avoid it. The moment I give a very big expression, you'll make khichdi. Okay? So see here carefully. Sin y. If I ask you to differentiate sin y with respect to y, what will be the differentiation? Cos y. With respect to y. But you are differentiating with respect to y or x? X. That is the catch here. So sin y ka differentiation with respect to y, cos y. Then differentiation of y with respect to x. You guys get it? First, you will differentiate this whole function with respect to y. Then you will go inside the function. What do you see? Y dy by dx. So what rule is this? Chain. Chain. So that is the only thing you have to be careful here. If I ask you differentiate with respect to y, what will be differentiation of y with respect to y? 1. But I am finding with respect to y or x? X. That is the reason I gave you this question. Anyone having doubt in this part? So differentiate with respect to y, then differentiate y with respect to x. This is called chain rule. Means slowly you're entering into the function. So take care of this. This is a common mistake which happens in the exam. Other than that, there is nothing special in this question. So please make a note of what mistake we do. The mistake what we do, we just write cos y. So make a note of that. Cos x with respect to x will be what? Minus sin x. So take dy by dx common. 1 plus cos y equal to minus sin x. So what is dy by dx? Minus sin x by 1 plus cos y. This is the answer. All done? Any student having doubt in this step, this particular step? That was a catch of this problem. That is the reason this question is discussed in today's session. We will discuss more of this tomorrow. So do revise whatever we have discussed today. It should be on your fingertips. If you don't know trigonometric identities, if you don't know basic differentiation, if you don't know chain, product, quotient, in tomorrow's class you'll stuck at every point because we will solve some lengthy questions. Do revise everything and come to the class. Chalo, bye guys. Good night. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.